Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Shirt. Today, I'm joined by, I think one, maybe two, maybe three different personalities, but I'm joined by Dan from Shirt Hits the Fan. And look, when I followed you on social media, I was honestly like in love with the tongue-in-cheek, the sort of personality of humor before, just everything. I think happiness is what brought us out of this pandemic in a slow, but a great way. And finding you and of course 343 has given me the light at the end of the tunnel my end in Australia. But how about you? I know you have to be quiet, but how you been? Good?
Oh, good, mate. I mean, that's a very small tunnel if I'm the light. Do you
Oh
know what I
no.
mean?
Yeah, it is.
It's how big's this tunnel? Like half a mile, like a quarter of a mile. Not pan,
6 months.
yes, 6 month tunnel. Great escape. I'd say, yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's really good of you to say that. We just like say, yeah, we do just. It's no seriousness. It is just constantly taking the piss all the time. Just having a good laugh. And I think it's just if we're not enjoying it, we don't do it.
Yeah,
So we're not always thinking, we're not thinking, oh, what might people like? We're just thinking, oh, we find it funny, so we'll go and do it. So
100%.
yeah.
100%. That's what it's about. Because look, I've been a part of social media ever since I graduated from high school in 2009. I've been doing Instagram for my photography. And I noticed during the sort of low time that how toxic the industry in creative industry can be. But coming across your stuff reminded me of so much of the Australian guys, Auntie Donna and many others, the Chasers. And it's just about making people laugh. And it's just having that sort of common joke it's like the inside joke that two mates know. And I think that's what brought a smile to my face thanks to you guys. I was showing my wife your full kit bankers stuff this morning when we woke up, and she looked at me. She's like, how do you find this funny?" And I was like, "Babe, you just have to know." How would you explain your humor to someone that you've just met on the train? Like if you're on the metro and you're just like, "Hi, I do such and such." Like, how would you explain yourself and your sort of ideology in the shirt community and comedy?
I don't know how. I mean, I struggle to fit it in the bio. To be fair, I mean, Full Kit Bankers. That's 343's creation, and as
Yep.
soon as he talked to me about it, we were just like, yeah, that's we just. I have a love for that sort of like yuppie, um, banker nonsense that we get in like the UK. These sort of like big time Charlies running around. So as soon as he brought up the idea, I was on board. Whatever he wanted to do with it, I was like up for it. And then filming it was hilarious. But the how would we package up Shirt Hits the Fan? I mean, football shirt nonsense it's like purveyors of football shirt nonsense. That's probably the best sort of strapline I could put to it. It's just completely not taking anything seriously.
Yeah.
Um, for like our like go to is like anyone who's never seen us before, never read our account. A lot of the posts will be really, we try and do really nice photography of the shirts, but then there'll be like a stupid story that will accompany it. So it'll be like the Patrick Berger escaping from an occult leadership of the Borussia Dortmund management team in 1996 would be our accompanying story to a 96 Dortmund shirt like the one behind you there.
No.
So that would be the sort of the
Yeah.
akin sort of stuff, or I don't know, Mario Jardel getting the clap after one too many brasses down the local strip. That would be like how we do a Porto shirt. Yeah, so it's that. It's
It's
just always
lovely.
nonsense. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's like
Mario Jardel, Porto, and penicillin. What else you need?
it's funny. I've been using the terminology "spinning the wheel" to my wife if we have a little bit of a fight, like as a miscommunication, and I'm like, "Stop spinning the wheel." I don't know where I've heard that from. I think it's just like it's our human sort of just memory where we hear something, then we say it forever for like a couple of months. Like you fall in touch with a certain word, and you just keep saying it. You think you're some sort of like you've read the thesaurus, and you're like, there I am. I'm using big words now. I'm a big word boy. But like, yeah, look, I read your every description about your kits and everything you get. I think one of them that really touched my heart was the Inter Milan zipper and the combo that you posted a while back. You probably even forgot, but like, I look at your descriptions and I think to myself, like my teacher in high school, she said to me, Alex, like if you need to do well in life, you need to know how to persuade the reader. Now, I think my teacher, I can't remember her name because I hated her. If she read your stuff, she would love you. I think the way you write about kits almost, yeah, it makes me fall in love with the kit and the person writing it. So good work on that. My teacher would definitely give you an A+ for that.
Oh mate, well I'm glad she likes it, the stuck up bitch. But there's two of us. So on Chat Fan, there's two of us. There's a guy called Joe Weir, and luckily
Oh,
he's
he's the
head of
wordsmith
English.
star.
So he does a lot of the work. So I'd say out of all the stories, he probably does about 70% of the stories. So he's actually head of English literature at a local secondary school. So he's a guy who somehow never ended up working for Viz or like the Guardian or something like that. He didn't get taken up. So this is like a really good outlet. And obviously this for me is just a laugh. So there's a few bits I write, but stuff like that one.
Well, there you go.
Jacket, I think was it Diego Fusa? Maybe,
yeah.
or was it?
There's lots. Just there's lots.
we Diego Fusa really comes into our literature quite a lot. So he was one of those ones, but he's that mate. I know the one you're talking about. It's like when he gets transfixed by the jacket and ends up like falling through like a puddle of his own. I can't remember how it works out, but yeah, when you said that to me on WhatsApp before we posted it, I was just in bits.
Oh my god, is that you two in the Italia shirts for the little promo you get for the calendar?
Oh yeah, our little calendars and our catalogs and stuff like that, and then all the other bits. Yeah, so that's us. So Joe's the more handsome George Michael looking chap, and I'm the Andrew Ridgeley. Got a little ear in everything.
Good choices. And I was going to say, he should definitely have a persona now. I don't know, we're going to bring one of your characters out in a couple of minutes, but he should join the Athletic and be the primary school teacher, and that's his like secret service name. And he's just like, hi, I'm the primary school teacher. I'm here to seduce you with my words.
Meet some bird on Tinder.
That sounds so fucking bad, though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the listeners.
Do you know about Mighty Boosh? Have you ever heard of Mighty Boosh?
Tell me.
So it's a TV show that was out about 15 years ago with Noel Fielding and some other guy. I can never remember his name. And it was all just these sort of ridiculous characters. They used to have like stuff like the Crack Fox and stuff like that. You want some spaghetti oops, and instead of like hands, he had like syringes and like. Anyway, these fucking great characters, but it's always like a little bit like that. Like,
yes, I've just Googled it. Yes, I've seen this. This is the funny thing. Like I look at this photo. I don't know if you can see the brightness. Let me put it down. But I remember watching this on SBS, which is like our naughty channel here in Australia at the moment. But like I, as an Australian, like we've grown up with the sort of UK humor, the British humor, and I feel like we're on the same line. And then the Americans look at both of us and think, you guys are just fucked. You know, with the Australians and the Brits, like they look at us and you're like, oh, I don't know how we created like the different sort of cultures, but that's what I love about British humor. I think that's the same thing with you guys. Just please don't tell me you've watched or have seen The Neighbours or Home and Away, because they're two of the shittest shows in Australia. Please tell me your family or yourself have not seen that.
No, it only works when like you guys come over and like our customs will actually like question you. And
oh my god,
you gave me in two box.
You gave me the best memory. Continue. You go first, and I'll tell you this memory. And you'll
I was going to say, mate, yeah, literally, that's how we judge you. That's literally how we judge you.
Well, I haven't been to a beach for like 6 months.
Right, unlucky. Oh, mate, that's just be like your like national pastime, just fucking robbed away from you, isn't it? Go down the beach.
The most Aussie thing that's happened to me in a couple of days is a kangaroo just shit in front of my house. And it was a big motherfucker as well.
Really? How big?
Mate, it was huge.
What's big for roo size? I mean, bear in mind, the biggest thing I've seen outside my house is like a fox on the roof.
So if Peter Crouch and Wayne Rooney had a child,
you know, that's a fucking lanky, stocky fucker.
Just standing there like this, just like chest out, and my little dog got a pug and he's just staring at it. I'm like, Chandler, no, you can't say hello to Mr. Kangaroo. His name's Chandler Bing. My wife's a massive Friends fan, so sorry about that to the listeners.
Right, that's right.
But yeah, so I landed in the UK for the first time in 2019, where I've always wanted to come to London, and my wife and I were at customs and ready to go, really excited, about to kick my feet in the sky, sort of like Anchorman style. And the second I walk up to this guy, he goes, "Oh, hello there," and I'm like, "Hi, oh, I'm so excited to be in London." He goes, "Why?" I'm like, "Oh, look, I just want to go touch a football stadium," and he's like, "I fucking hate football." And I looked at him, and I looked at my wife, and I was like, fuck, this guy's Judas. He's literally just killed me. Like I've traveled land and sea to get here. And the first thing you tell me when I touch Holy Grail or holy soil is that you hate football. And that broke my heart. And I think I'll remember that forever. I wish I asked him I wish I asked who his family supports. He would have said Southampton. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Scummer. Yeah, I was gonna say was he a Scummer. What's fucking great. So who is this guy? Outing. Give us a name.
I don't know. I don't remember him. There was the customs guy. I think his name would have been like Charlie or something, the way he looked.
Like Charlie. Charlie, you need to have a look at yourself. You fucking prick.
Talking about Portsmouth and Southampton, we're getting into your love for the mighty Portsmouth. But did you find out the news about the one and only player? I think that I've just come to realize, former Portsmouth and Southampton midfielder John Villafara jailed for 11 months. Did you hear what happened?
I have, mate, but please relay this news to the viewer.
So yeah, he's been in jail for 11 years, even worse. Fuck, that's more time than he spent at Portsmouth, mate.
I don't think he played 11 games.
For cocaine worth $21 million. That's even more money than he probably made in the Premier League at a time.
I think that's more than all his transfer fees and wages all rolled up into one.
Oh,
Mate, I know,
man.
like, I don't know how, was he doing it, like, on the pitch? Was he, like, running around, like, pills, 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 what? Pills? Ski slope, mate, ski slope?
This
Just
is
running around up to what?
It's actually sad, like when you think about it, how footballers, work their whole lives and then out of nowhere they get stuck in this trouble. I have to say, it definitely was Southampton that influenced him to make that decision. Being
100%.
stuck in that sort of community, I feel like it ruined his thinking.
I think basically after about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks there, I reckon it was just looking out there in the morning of the house, looking in the environment, the concrete, almost like a post-blitz London. But obviously it was like 10 years ago that they cut his Sanchez just an absolute hole, and yeah, I reckon it just drove him to it. I reckon he was just literally on the bag after 2 weeks, and then just got in deep, and before you knew it, he was like, I don't know, shoving Mark Halsey like a couple of grams here and there as a favour. Yeah, before you knew it, mate, knee deep in Colombian trouble, and that was it.
The
It's
second
not
I
a
read
mad
that he
story
was
though.
Colombian, I laughed. But also his name is spelled John with the Jhon, and I thought that was also a bit like just well, if I met him and he said, "Hi, my name's John," and I'm like, "How do you spell John?" If he said Jhon, I would have been like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, it's almost like he was just doing it along the whole time. Like it's a cokey name as well, isn't it? Jahan Biafara.
Johan.
You what, mate? Yeah, yeah. And after Johan, and after about 5 minutes of talking to him, where it's basically him talking to you, you all suddenly tweet in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if he failed like a drug test, like Maradona style, like had like 15 different fucking barbiturates in his system at once, like really going for it.
Oh mate, your hate for Southampton makes me laugh. But I think for me, I have a soft spot for Portsmouth. I was that sort of generation growing up watching the football here early mornings or late nights, and I do remember moments like Modric and Nico Crancher, and that was just sort of the generation for me. Yeah, and just like remembering the signings. That you were bringing in, I loved every second of watching even the cowbells and just all that sort of vibes. Tell me why Portsmouth, what it is about, what's it about,
Oh mate, Portsmouth we're quite lucky. So we're an island city. So imagine like putting Tassie right off the coast of Sydney. Do you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it's just Hobart. There's nothing else, which I suppose is Tassie. And it's basically, so it's an island city attached to the mainland by like 3 bridges. The club is the city. we're really lucky. There isn't like a rivalry. It's just Portsmouth. And yeah, we've just always hated Southampton, just like our little shit neighbour. They're just like a bit more middle class, a bit just like a bit more just up their own arse, basically. Because allegedly being in the Premier League gives you a trophy. It doesn't. Winning trophies gives you trophies. So we're like the most successful on the South Coast. We've won 2 league titles. We've won 2 FA Cups. We've won every division in English football. We've won all but one domestic trophy in English football. So yeah, they just won. And basically, this is the other thing. The only trophy they've ever won is 1 FA Cup, and the geezer who scored the fucking winning goal was from Portsmouth. So they couldn't even win their own fucking trophy. We had to do it for them.
Oh,
that's how shit they are. So yeah, but yeah, we've just got better sport. The geezer with the cowbell, John, Portsmouth Football Club Westwood. That's his actual name. He owns a bookshop just outside Portsmouth. And then just it's just I've never known to support another club in the UK. It's just always been Portsmouth. So
that's the hardest thing with a lot of people around the world, like apart from the random bots on Facebook that say, come on Man United, go Man City next week, and it's just like, I think finding identity in football has always been a bit of a challenge. And I think me being from Australia, like we've identified with United because the red in the United logo sort of connected my grandfather to his homeland of Macedonia and the Balkans. And that's why he fell in love with Manchester United. I remember stories that he used to tell me when Manchester came here in the I think the 80s or even the 70s. I can't remember when in Australia. He's gone to those games and that's what made him fall in love. So for me, I know everyone says to me, oh, of course you're a United supporter. You've never even gone to a Man United game. And it's like, it's hard to tell people like why you like a certain team. But stories like yours now, where you're telling me, Portsmouth is basically my blood. It's in my system. And I love that. I think that's the hardest thing about football across the world is just identifying with a certain sort of code or DNA. And your passion for Portsmouth is something I really like. And I think I've watched a lot of documentaries about, just the war times and the stories and how important Portsmouth is connected to that story, but also just the football. Like I do miss Portsmouth being in the top tier, and hopefully one day we get to see them. Are they on the run a bit now? What's the story right now for them?
Oh mate, so we've got financially fucked over by
again
a mix of us. So it's all started about 12 years ago, 15 years ago. So we got bought out by basically the front of an Israeli arms dealer. And when Mossad seized, so basically he put his son in and he was laundering money through the club. So we were basically beholden to this geezer who wasn't the chairman, but had his son in place. He then had Israel, I think it was Mossad, seized his assets. And then it all started to go tits up because he couldn't launder the money through the club. And then we had a series of like these really bad chairmen, one after another, each one of them who the FA had passed as being fit and proper and done a whole background check, let them come in and buy the club. Turns out one of them, we had one bloke who had no money, who actually stole the money off his wife and then got arrested for it. He was called the Fake Sheikh. We had another guy who, if you Googled his name, was facing money laundering charges in Lithuania.
Oh my God.
But he was allowed to take over the club. And it eventually got to the point where we nearly got run into like literally out of business completely. And then the fans ended up getting together and buying the club. That was about 7 or 8 years ago. And then we've slowly been getting back to stability. So like now we're quite financially stable. We then had the guy who used to own Disney called Michael Eisner. Him and his son have a consortium that now own the club. It's really good, mate. I mean, he's not going to run out of money. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they parody him on Family Guy like all the time, so he must be legit. So that's all we need to know. And now we're on the up. We're on the up again. But we've just had 2 years where we've been a bit stagnant. We had a manager called Kenny Jackett. Luckily, he's got his Kenny Jackett and fucked off because he was absolute shit. Like it almost like we'd be doing really well for 5 or 6 games, and then he'd change the team, or he'd change the formation, or he'd get rid of all of our best players. And then we were like, what is going on? So we're in the playoffs, And then this final with this like thing called the EFL Trophy, which is like basically if you're not very good, you get this little trophy. It's like a shit cup. So we were in the final of that twice. We won it once. We lost it the other week, and it's like it's hard to explain. If you look at us on paper, he had an amazing win percentage. We had top 6 finishes twice, 2 years in a row. We're on for another top 6 finish, and we won these cups, and we got quite far in the FA Cup. So on paper, it's really good. In reality, going to the games week in, week out, it's like torture. It's honestly horrendous. Like there is no game plan. It sort of seems to be keep the ball. Anyway, it was bad. It was really bad. And there was this massive divide where he basically finally brought in all his own players, and all the players he let go of or wasn't picking were our best players, and all the players he brought in were shit. And it was just awful, mate. So he got the sack finally. Like there was a whole campaign for like a year just to get rid of him because he was so bad. And they put him on a long deal, so it's financially really hard to get rid of him. But eventually, push comes to shove, and it's like we can't keep. I mean, one year, right, we've been top of the league at Christmas, I think twice, in both years. One year we were 6 points clear at Christmas, and managed to just get in the playoffs. And it was like, it's just bad. It was just, and the football was horrendous. Like I couldn't go to any home. I'm diehard, but I couldn't even go watch Pompey at home. It was horrendous, mate. It was honestly horrendous. It was so bad. So, yeah, he got the sack. We brought in these 2 lads, Nick and Danny Cowley. They used to be Lincoln City's managers and Huddersfield managers, but they're quite good. And we just won 4-4. We looked like we're playing good football, creating a lot of chances. Just everything that we should have been doing, like playing like the cut of players that are so good, like playing a better formation, like everything just seems to be like clicking at the moment. We won 4-4. The charge for promotion's back on, so we're on the way back up. We're on the way back up, mate. Yeah,
it sucks that what we see happen to football clubs. It's like all these clubs with so much history just cop it in the end because there's just the miscommunication and the just control of clubs. And then we said about when you research certain people and the shit they get through. I think something that opened my eyes was that as much as I hate them, but what's it called? The Stadium of Light. What's Sunderland?
Sunderland.
Yeah, and how their sort of past couple of years have been like. It just shows you, like, as much as we hate Sunderland, it's just the way clubs are managed sometimes. Like even like United, owned by the Glazers. Control. If it wasn't for the money, that club would go to shit show. There's no control behind the scenes, and that's why you see a lot of small clubs get formed for the fans, by the fans type of thing. And it's just
United and that.
Yeah, and look, then you'll see sort of renditions of like Salford where the players buy clubs and try to change it, and then you see Hector Bellerin investing into clubs like Forest Green. I don't know what the future of football clubs is going to be like in the management and the behind the scenes type of thing, but I just hope for the sake of football, clubs like Portsmouth don't get wiped off the picture because of mismanagement. We saw that almost happen to Rangers, but it's good to see where they're at now, financially and even just successfully. So I think it's up only for Portsmouth now. It's good to see they're winning. I saw the Wigan game, which is a good result. How many games you got left? Like 6 or 7? Is there still a chance of promotion?
We've got 38 games played. I think it's 8 games. So we've got to get automatic. We got to claw back 9 points in 8 games. That sounds like that's never happened, but stranger things have happened. And if we win, I'd say we win 7 out of those last 8 games, then it's really on. And we've got one of the easiest run-ins going. We don't play anyone in the top 6. Yeah, so it's good. I mean, it is hard because I really just want to get out of League 1, League 2. I've had enough of it now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like my entire life up until I was 30, we didn't play below what's the level we're at now, even below the Championship. Like it was only after 2012 that we actually ended up getting relegated to like League 1. Jeez. But it was like, that's fine. We don't really care about where we're playing, but it's the fact that we didn't get there on footballing terms. We got there because the FA docked us 10 points because we a dodgy owner that they approved to take over. Now they've just blocked a transfer. This is the same FA. They've just blocked a transfer of Newcastle United because the guy who's going to come in conflicts with their broadcast rights in Saudi Arabia. And the guy's absolutely minted. There's like zero risk of the club, but they vetoed it because of his, basically he runs a company that broadcasts the game that in the UAE and Saudi for like either nothing or like basically contravenes like the FA broadcast rules or the Premier League broadcast rules. And so basically it's so fucking fixed, mate. Honestly, if you're Newcastle,
of course.
Yeah, I mean, but basically we've been put where we are because the FA is shit, and like punishing the clubs doesn't hinder the chairman because it's not. This isn't the 1920s. These aren't local people owning the club. Do you know what I mean? These are fucking billionaires who don't give a shit.
Businesses.
And then, yeah, they're running. Not even running. I mean, the guy who owned Bury. The only reason Bury got into shit is because of shit businessmen. Then they chuck at the EFL, chucks them out of the league, and it's like, no, just take the club away from them. Do you know what I mean? You take the club away. There's got to be some sort of. You've got to stop this matter. Wimbledon moved up to MK Dons the other week. What the fuck is that about? Well, not the other week, about 20 years ago. But how can you move a club 80 miles north of where it is? It's fucking bullshit, mate. Honestly, like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. It's a mismanagement. I think it happened in Australia where one of their clubs was almost going to be taken over by a UK Bitcoin investor, and I think, yeah, and he's gone to jail now. But Perth Glory, if anything, they're connected more to the UK than anything else in the UK. But Perth Glory had this moment where they almost signed a deal with a new owner, and the owner was this gentleman who, let's just say, wore a furry coat and said he was a Bitcoin investor. Honestly, I wouldn't believe it if it was one of your characters. Like, you should definitely research this guy and turn him into your characters. Like, I could definitely see him being like, I don't know, Charlie the Bitcoin investor. And then you just rock around and be like, oh, hi there, I'm going to buy your club.
That'd be almost, I don't know if you ever heard of, like, we could call him Big Time Charlie. But
yeah, got, talk about NFTs and...
Have you ever heard of a thing called Phone Jacker? You ever heard of that?
Sounds familiar. It's too early for me to think. Sorry.
This is a guy. So I think it's Novak, Corin Novak. I think his name is. A guy he's in quite a lot of stuff. But he does basically one of his characters is called Terry Tibbs, and he's this like guy who used to be like a car salesman or salesman of anything, and he just come on and do like, he just has these loads of little catchphrases like talk to me, and I can just imagine some sort of crossover between him and that guy. That's all I can see now.
No, I expect a Big Time Charlie.
Okay, mate, we'll put that together. It might be us like knocking on the door of like local business. Fuck it, I'm gonna run with that. I like
you're gonna run with it, and I'm really excited to see the first appearance of Big Time Charlie. Hopefully, there's a club out there for sale or players, or any. He could also be a dodgy player management, almost like what's his name, the one that's got Ronaldo and stuff, and he's basically got the key to the big transfers. Raiola, no,
Mino Raiola, yeah.
It could be
sooner he's out of the way, that's better.
Big time Charlie could be this dodgy like investor like type of guy that just like says to clubs, hey, I've got Erling Haaland plus a couple of thousand Bitcoins for a transfer. Oh, that's actually a good topic. When will clubs start buying players with Bitcoins? Or when will players when will players start being NFTs? Hi there, I want to sell you a Ronaldo 2020 version, NFT, non-fungible.
Mate, can you just like imagine the sort of stuff like the first Bitcoin transfer? It's just a nonsense. I don't get how like electronic, that geezer who sold his tweet.
It's too much for my brain.
Oh mate, Bitcoin, it's just the tulip bulb economy, you know. If everyone is listening, like Google tulip bulb crisis or tulip bulb economy.
Yeah,
basically like it's like some overinflated, even like the football shirt market is now.
We can definitely talk about that soon. Yeah.
But I think it's almost the same thing. Where it is. But this is almost like the basis of like for football shirt bankers. I think you're basically looking at the value of football shirts and just there is that bit of insanity to it now.
Yeah.
But mate, it's not far away. It can't be far away. I mean, used to joke around saying, I'd give him 10 quid and a bag of Freddos, or like Freddos are like little chocolates open.
Yeah, we got Freddos. Come on, mate. Come on, mate.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I didn't know how third world you were.
We eat chocolate here, mate. Come on.
To be fair, mate, you have got Tim Tams. They're like an upgrade on the Penguin, so I'll allow it.
What's a penguin?
Oh, mate, it's like a Tim Tam, but it's like a little bit. It's like this thinner chocolate. Tim Tams are a lot better.
Nah, Tim Tams.
Mate, Tim Tams are top bins. Chop the top and bottom on. Cup of tea.
I'll send you a packet. Done. I'll send you a packet.
Yeah, double coated chocolate. Yeah.
Done. I'll send you a Vegemite flavor as well.
Oh. No, I know you're lying.
I fucking hate Vegemite. No, there's Vegemite chip syrup. We're pretty fucked up in Australia. Hey, I was gonna say, the Bitcoin investor, isn't Mushkov a Bitcoin investor?
Mushkov actually is he's part time. He's still got a 300 meg RAM desktop computer mining Bitcoin. He's had it since 1995. He does have an amount of Bitcoin, but I think he lost his password to his Yahoo account, and
Yahoo. Wow.
Yeah, he's been really struggling since AOL went. He's always been lost.
MS DOS.
Still got a corded mouse. Yeah, still got a corded mouse.
I hear he walks around with the PC into his laptop. Into his briefcase, and just the brown dodgy briefcase, and just says hello to everyone and pops it open. It's a massive PC, and he connects the wires, and you can hear the internet connecting. That's how invested he is to
he's got Outback
Bitcoins.
Broadband, mate. ADSL plugged in.
Man.
He's like, yeah, if he needs to use it, he needs to get the Wi-Fi off the phone. If she's talking to her mum back in Bulgaria, he's got to tell her to cut it off, and then it starts a right hoo-ha. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So tell me about him. How's I know he's also a bit of a legend in the scene of Portsmouth, but like, what made you? Yeah, what created this Big Time Charlie's friend?
Big Time Charlie. Well, Big Time Charlie is the agent of Pushkar Pomsky, and he just it was a bit of a, I'm going to say a rip-off, but it is a rip-off. So there's a character called Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse come up with in the 90s called Julio Giorgio, and it was like this South American Spanish guy who played for Newcastle. So he like, they come on and go, oh, so Julio, one game for Newcastle, one goal. How do you think it went today? And he just then go, man, stop me talking willingly. And he's telling everything would be like interrupted with a Geordie accent. So I just thought, like, I'd love to do that, but as a Pompey player. And we always used to have like really great Eastern European players. So let's have Todorov, Robert Kozanecki, former like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Red Star Belgrade, Yugoslavia, Croatia, like captain, like superstar. We had him for 1 year, so everyone always loved him. And then we also had like other like great blonde-haired players like Alan Biley and Matthias Svensson, players like that. So it's just a jump in on that. It's like, how can we do it? And so yeah, that's why Mushkov Pomsky come in. So we just thought, like, let's Pompify or Portsmouthify, like a sort of character for that. And just chucking loads of local references whenever we can. So there's like so that's where it will come from. It
plays true to my heritage too. Don't worry, that's why I enjoy it.
Right, okay, mate. Okay, so it's a little bit of that. So he's vaguely. You started off with him vaguely being in like the sort of Eastern European, just east of the Iron Curtain, essentially. But we've sort of narrowed him down to like Bulgaria now. We think he's
almost like Bulgaria. A Marvel movie where you like you find the character and then you got to watch like 10 movies to realize he's from a certain country and has a history. And it's like, oh shit, this guy's like full got a backstory now.
That's it. We almost need like, we had his origin story, and we recently bought, so we had him like come back. So we made out like in his most recent adventure, it catalogued his transfer tales around Europe, from like Real Madrid to Barcelona to PSG and to Roma, and then York City, and how bad it was going for him. And then he come back, and hopefully he can turn the tide for 2002, 2003 Portsmouth. now. So we had set him in like 1997 before. So now he's back. He's into like a little bit. He's crept a bit into the future. So he's just started to mine Bitcoin. So he's just.
He doesn't age, does he?
No, he doesn't. Some would say he's a timeless player.
Is he going to make an appearance during the post-lockdown celebrations in a sense of like five-a-side and stuff? Yeah, like are we going to see more content now that he'll be allowed out? I
think you'll probably see like Fratton Park based Mushkov come out soon. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really excited.
He's actually, I've actually got him. He's actually in the shower around the corner. He likes the late night shower, so he's just getting ready at the moment. So I can ask him to come out. He likes Lynx Africa still. He's, that's his go-to. Lynx Africa.
I thought I had one in here, but like my wife's basically domesticated me, so I don't have that anymore.
You realise you're not a virgin anymore. You don't need Lynx Africa.
I've got a child, so definitely not.
DNA test, love. Come on, let's go.
Oh man. So yeah, look, we can bring out Mushkov later once he's finished his shower. I wanted to get into two more subjects before I let you sleep and enjoy your peaceful, what would you say, night sleep? Because talking about football shirts is something that really does make us tired in the sense of like how much information there is out there. Being from Australia, there wasn't much, and that's why I started my channel. I always wanted to do something. When I went to the UK in 2019, I cried the second I stepped into Holy Grail like stores like classic football shirts or just small ones. And even just seeing people wear jerseys on the street made me cry because I come from Australia where not many people do wear it, and only the kids that are like bought gifts from their parents, they're wearing like Ronaldo or Messi shirts, which is common. It's like almost seeing Alan Partridge jokes on the internet these days. It's just common. It's just something you're just like, oh yeah, it's just another one. But for me, look, I'll be honest. Like when I started my stuff, it was really daunting because I was so scared about talking about certain things. My wife for Christmas always buys me these books, like the 1,000 football shirts or the World Football Club crests, and I love reading about these. Just technology and how things have changed.
It's a good book as well. That's a good
Which
book.
one?
1,000 football shirts. That's a good book.
There's so many like that. Like even like having the opportunity as a photographer to work with magazines like Soccer Bible made me fall in love with more of the football culture. And doing what I do as a photographer, shirts are like art sort of items to me, and that's why I fell in love with it. And then when I realized how big the community was, it made me happy because when we're in lockdown, you guys were enjoying life. I had a lot of friends from London go to Portugal and stuff, and I was like, fuck you guys, like I'm here in 6 months. And now that we're sort of having low emissions on our end, I've been able to watch and enjoy my life. But it's sad that you guys having your lockdown. But I think it's sort of like a seesaw thing. And then hopefully at the end of this year, slowly now it's going to end. But I feel like the shirt community has saved a lot of us and keeping us sane. And even if it's like pro or con or comedy or more just conversation, would you agree that it's probably the best time of the shirt community to have basically grown in a certain speed and allowed us to find friends?
I think it's been a real... super growth period, and almost like abstract growth period for such a small section of like the football community. Because all you've got, you can't go out and play football. And I think there is that, I don't know, I think there's probably a lot of people who've been into kits for a long time, and this is like the first time they've gone, oh, you know what, I think I'm just gonna go like show off my kits, or I might like try and expand my like football shirts. So yeah, I think it's been really good. And I think what's gonna happen off the back of this is that you're gonna get people who've got to meet each other, got to know each other digitally, will now like get up and meet up face to face during the course of the summer. And just have a much bigger, like there'll be a sort of a more physical community off the back of it. Whereas before you might have a hall where you might have a fair and a few people turn up and it's a bit tiny. Whereas now I think you could hold like a bigger event, more people, a bigger community. And so yeah, I think it'll be a bit more. I think there'll be the growth out the side of this. Like one thing I do think about social media is I think it's like before everyone was just in a big reservoir. Before we used to just go meet, you go to a pub, we go out in public, and your views would be, you'd have to almost be rationalised to an extent because you wouldn't have all these right wing fucking racist dickheads running around like calling themselves the alt right. If you didn't have social media, they'd just be fucking neo Nazis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think what's happened is like it's almost like someone unplugged the dam, all the water's flown out and found its own tributaries and found its own little puddles, and so people will find people like you naturally want to find like-minded people because it will either support your argument or make you feel more included in whatever you're doing. So I think the football shirt thing through lockdown has been something where I don't think people realise there is that sort of area for it. And I think things like classic football shirts, like what they've done with like, I think the what I wore thing's been massive because I don't think we can like, you can really, if you ever see that on BT Sport, they're going to think of what I wore. There's a guy called Andrew Mentzes, the host of it. And it's quite funny that since that, people are going, oh, have you seen this about football shirts? People who wouldn't really talk about it that much or like be that interested are now talking about shirts they used to own, boots they used to own, things like that. And just it's gotten much bigger. So for instance, I had my boss send me the video of Will, so 343, send me the video of him doing his interview with Give Me Sport. And that's like his £30,000 shirt collection. And he sent me the video of that of Will, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I do a live with him every week. Like, I chat to him like once a day.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Yeah, that guy. He's the guy I do all my stuff with. That sounds a bit weird. If you've just tuned into that and you just see like, oh, that guy is, we're not John Villafara talking now. This is like to talk about football shirts. So it is definitely weird, and I think just even like people who weren't that interested in shirts before or had a slight interest have like gone into it a little bit more, and it's just like an outlet they can actually do. They can go out and buy a shirt online and chat to people about it. So I think it is whether the fashion element of football shirt collecting will carry on because where people are starting to wear them as fashion items, whether that will carry on because fashion is constantly changing. 100%. There will be something else in 2 or 3 years. So I think there's that fashion collector who may in 4 or 5 years go, oh, I don't really want these shirts and we're just going to sell them off because they bought them as fashion items. And I think you will then have a swelling back in the market and price will drop because they'll just be wanting to get rid of them. So I think the height is that, but might drop off. But the value of some of the shirts is only going to go up because they're a finite resource. Do you know what I mean? I'm sat in this random Polish match watch. I don't know who it is. Bought it off Football Shirts 101, so for like 25 quid or something. But like, there's how many of these is there going to be? How many like match worn Cremonese shirts is it going to be? How many 1994 fucking Argentina long sleeves are there? Do you know what I mean? And every year we go back further on, the less there'll be because there will be some damage. There will be something fucked. So the value side of it, I don't know how it's going to behave. But the interest in football shirts, I think, is definitely going to grow within the fans for a little bit because also there's so many shirts that come out. You can go buy you can go buy your team's all-time best shirt or your all-time favourite club shirt for less than the new shirts cost still. Because the new shirts coming out at like 60, 70 quid.
4 jerseys for some people, for some clubs, 4 kits.
Oh, mate, no one's going to go and buy that. Unless you're a club shirt nutter. Like there's a lot of people that are. You're just not going to have it. I'm sorry. It's just, I just don't. That's why I think they do all these specials. I think they make smaller numbers of the shirts now. Personally, it's my thoughts. I think they make smaller numbers, but they do lots of variations. So there's almost something for everyone. Try and keep almost like they'll release some sort of random shirt every like 2 or 3 months, like a training top or some fucking like a blackout kit for no apparent reason, or a Chinese New Year shirt or something like that. Just what the fuck is that about? Just to like keep that money coming out your pocket throughout the whole
100%.
year.
100%. It's a
Yeah,
dodgy industry when you think about it. Look, I agree with everything you said, and that's why I think when
you better.
I
That's good. Well done.
no, it's look like when I look at my shirts. One thing I learned last year was like I need to stop buying brand new shirts. Like don't rush and buy the new kit. Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
there.
that's a
Like
no-no.
that's a no no. And I made a big mistake last year, falling in love with that Inter Milan third kit when there was that one there.
Oh, right, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I rushed to get that, and I got the Vapor Edition and Lukaku on the back. Cost me £200. Yeah, I can get that now, the exact same Vapor for like £120. And I was like,
Yeah.
why did I rush? Why did I
Mm.
rush?
But
You know?
that's not that unwise though. In terms of, I've done it. I've bought three this year, but at like a lower price. The one I bought this year, I bought the Venezia home and away kit because I was just
Oh, I
worried
got a
that they were
third.
going to
Yeah,
sell out. So it's like if that sells out, and then I'm in a situation where it's going to be like a Roma third kit from 2 years ago, or like you know one of the Nigeria 2018 World Cup kits where all
yeah.
the units sold out. Um, and I wouldn't own one for like 5 years until someone just puts one up for 40 quid, not think about it. And then it's like, I thought, well, I really like them. I really want it. So me and my mates all chipped in, bought one of those. I bought the Roma away kit this year because even on Roma's own website and the Nike site, you could only get them in like small. So I thought there was one on Amazon, and I thought I better just go get it because I just know it's good. That's gonna be a certain one.
I did
But
the
so I
same
know what you
thing
mean.
with the
But
Korea one.
yeah, that's a smart move. Yeah, yeah.
There's still some available, but for me, I was like, Nike's not going to remake that one, type of thing.
No, no, that's the thing. I think there was, but in
There you go.
general,
So
I would say, in general, I would say like I would never go out and buy a new season kit. Like in general, I just wouldn't. So I'd say like as a as a rule of thumb, I would say just wait to the end of the year, wait for the sales. There'll always be some shirts left. It's only very rarely like in the like I say when that Roma shirt sold out, that was like I don't think even Nike didn't even think that would happen. They honestly didn't. So they would have made more units.
mm,
Um, so it does. It's a very rare instance. So sometimes you've got to be like play it safe a little bit, but generally always
it's
wait for
almost
the end of the
it's
season
almost like
sales.
investing in bitcoins.
It's worth
Um,
about as little. Yeah.
So one thing I fell in love with your recent post was the zipper challenge, and so as much as
Oh,
like I love collecting my stuff, like I've got kits here that I'm just like I don't know how the fuck I even own. I'm just so amazed. But like one thing that's been hard for me to source has been zip jackets, and I think even jumpers now. And I think there's big craze going on. I think Alice started the whole jumper challenge now. Everyone's just buying jumpers, and I'm like, leave
oh.
leave some for us, like over here. It's so hard for us to source it. I was lucky enough to find this on eBay.
Yeah,
The
baby.
But I
That's
just found
you.
out the other day that this was given to all the volunteers for free, so there should be thousands and thousands available, but I've only seen like maybe a couple on Cole, on Classic. And yeah, but I got this for £40, and now it's worth like 300 on one of the websites, of the shirt websites. But that's my only one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's your only zip. That's your only zip.
I have one more, but it hasn't arrived. I don't want to ruin it for the
Oh,
viewers. I got
fair
to
enough.
wait for them to see
That's
what
all
it is.
right. That's all right. Mate, that's a
It's
good zip. I mean, that's like one
it
of
is.
the all-time graphic prints as well, like USA '94 logo. Um, that whole that whole point, both of those shirts as well, the USA home and away as well, just absolute gold.
Yeah, I
So
need those.
that's a good jacket, mate. I mean, the zip challenge. I've always loved Italy jackets. So I've got about 15, 16 different Italy jackets, bench coats, and like half zips and stuff like that. So when Will started the zip challenge, I was like, get him. Like this is like he's got some mad bench coats, but I'm definitely like a zipper king. Love it, absolutely love
All
it.
right. Look, I've got so many things. I actually wish I went over there and got one more thing. Now, what I've started since my wife and I had a little one, I've started buying little jerseys for her. So she's now got a collection of 40 kits. She
Oh,
can't wear them yet. She's going to be at least 12 months. But what did I get? I've got it here. I've got a brand new inbox. Oh, here we go. So I'm a Man United supporter, but being someone who loves FIFA or just playing football on console, I fall in love with certain teams. You know, I sort of have a team in every continent or state, or sorry, country. And
yeah.
Valencia was a club that I fell in love with in the early 2000s. Loved everything about Valencia. I didn't want to be a Barca or a Real Madrid fan, but I bought my daughter in the 2001 brand new in box infants kit. So basically it's
Oh,
like
that's so
6 to 12
cute.
months. The kit, the shorts, the socks, the headband, everything. So I can't wait for her to be at least 6 to 12 months so she can wear this kit. I just bought the actual large version of it. It's got the Terra Mythica on the front.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so we've got matching jerseys. So I've got like all of Man United's like early 90 Umbro kits for me and her. And then I've got all
Oh,
the so that's a future episode where I'm making my daughter a kit collector at the age of 3 months.
mate, that's genius as well. I think it's a really undertapped like resource as well. Kids kits. I bought my nephew. I haven't got kids, but I've got like two nephews, and I buy him like retro. So his first kit was a Pompey 1993-94 away kit.
Start them early with the
Um,
Pompey.
yeah, so just thread him in there. Just thread it in. I'll make that be quality. That'd be such a good thing to see. I think there's a few people who do something a little bit similar. So you've got father son football shirts. There's a guy called Hodge. Actually, no, Hodgson's Horde does it, I think, as well. And there's another guy called Whole Beach Legend. I think he does it as well.
Oh,
So there's a
sick.
few
Yeah, I
people who
follow a
like,
few.
yeah, I think Whole Beach is a United fan as well. Oh mate, that'd be quality. I think it's so good. It is so much cuter as well. Like taking around the classic kit. That's brilliant. Love it.
So I grew up with the whole indie rock scene. Like, you know, I fell in love with Foals, Tudor Cinema Club, that sort of Kasabian. So for me, like, I love my good old UK. Because honestly, I would move to the UK anytime. So I said to my wife already, I'm like, when my daughter's old enough, we're going to have daddy daughter double denim days. So double denim, so black jacket, black pants, jersey, white sneakers, or just black like boots, and that's it. Like
That's quality.
we're gonna take on the streets in our outfits. And I think that's the best thing about having this collection. Like, it's connected a lot of us across the world, but for me, it's given me now a sort of purpose to give her something in the future. Hopefully she doesn't end up liking AFL, the local sport. But honestly, yeah, look,
Collingwood.
don't say that. Don't. Um, but yeah, look, I think honestly, football shirts and just the collectors scene has given us a purpose to connect with across the world. So I'm also grateful to even have you on the episode today. So thank you for creating
Oh
amazing
mate,
content. Thank you for sharing your shirts with us, because every time I scroll past, I'm like, fuck, I need that kit. Like, it's never ending. Is there a
it's
shirt that's on the
cracking it.
list for
It's like
you? Is
crack.
it, what's the next?
It is crack, mate. It is crack. To be fair, I'm really bad. I'm really bad. Honestly, if I'd probably have about 30 grand in the bank if I didn't spend money on football shirts. Um, uh, it's funny actually you saying then about music and stuff. So like Sabian, Foles, Tudor. I've seen all of those acts.
Yeah.
I've seen Foles loads. I've actually had
Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I went to see the first time, he jumped off the stage at Southampton. That's unfortunately I had to go there. And he does like a little bit, like a little run around the
Yeah.
audience. He was
Yeah.
doing this at the time. And he literally ran straight past me, as in like me
Fuck.
to this phone screen, like there. He's really small. But I've seen Foles about 4 or 5 times. They're
Oh
amazing.
man.
But
I'll
it's
send you a
quite in,
photo after this.
all right. Oh, you're jealous. But yeah, I mean, it's like, even like Sabian, seeing all those guys. Saw Sabian in 2005, and the last time I saw him would have been like 3 or 4 years ago in Bournemouth. So
Oof.
they're again just another really good act. Um, but it's weird how you say like football and music. I think shows like Soccer AM are so intrinsic with the music and the football and almost the fashion now.
Hmm.
Um, that you get much more. It's like all round package, and they're so important. I think it's music and football. It's just a great marriage.
It is. It is.
It's just it just sort of completes the whole thing. It's like almost like the image. Like I've got
It's
quite
like
a
things
bit
you
of,
can't live without.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just one sort of tease off the other one because like you listen to some music, it will bring back like memories. So like some
Club
factual
foot.
facts. Oh, mate, club foot is like it's it's just too football. It's just too good. It's just too good stuff. But even like that don't you know pump it up? You got to pump it up.
Yeah, it's like the modern version.
So there's a Pompey chant of that. Don't you know? That's it. Don't you
Pompey.
know we're going up? The Blues are going up. Don't you
Yeah.
know? Pump it up. The Blues are going up, and everyone just starts dancing in the stands. It's fucking
Yeah,
quality.
that's like the Will Griggs song recently and during the Euros. The Will
Oh,
Griggs on fire. Like,
yeah.
and that like in Australia, one of the clubs has the white stripes.
Yeah.
Seven Nations Army. Sorry, it's when it's like dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Yeah,
Dun,
so
dun,
like
dun, dun, dun,
and
dun, dun.
being I work for Melbourne City, so it's owned by Man City, and we've got a lot of our songs from like Manchester scene, but then some of the other clubs around Australia use that same band. Everyone's like, well, you can't use that's from Manchester. And this is why I love music and football, because if you're from Liverpool, you're a diehard Liverpool music, Merseyside Beatles. If you're from Manchester, you've got to be, understanding of the Stone Roses or something like that. And if you're from London, then fucking listen to London music. um,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with music, and it's almost like DNA. It just shows who you are. If you say to someone, "Hi, I'm Alex. I listen to Stormzy," and you're like, "Okay, I understand your grime. You've got a bit of like understanding of the lyrics." Or if you're like, "Hi, I'm Alex. I listen to Stone Roses. I listen to Joy Division." It's just like, oh yeah, you love a good shit about at a bar and get fucking shit faced.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I think when we talk about football shirts and music and everything about this, it's another way for us to connect, which is good. I know I like that.
Mm. Oh, mate, it's definitely like it sort of does sort of put a lot of things together. And you do then find like people you've got more in common with elsewhere as well, other than just the football shirts, which is quite handy. But yeah, I mean, football without music and music without football. Obviously, that'd be a really shit world to live in, isn't it? One without the other.
The other day when I messaged you and I threw that little Marvel Thanos comment, and you understood what I was saying, and I was like, fucking oath. Like, see, this is exactly what I mean. Like, we connect across the world, and I think this is the message I try to portray in everything I do. Is like, I've been doing creative stuff with most of my life now, and I think I have this fear of missing out, like FOMO. So I have to stay in touch. I watch almost every television show. I read comic books. I collect jerseys. I think I'm scared. My biggest fear in life is missing out, but also just falling behind in the sort of like understanding of the world. Like, I feel if there's a new album, I have to listen to it. If there's a new podcast, I have to listen to it. It's just information overload. And I think that's why I love the shirt community, because there's so many people with opinions, and I love listening to opinions. But look, I think from your end, everything that you portray and push out, even alongside 343, just keep doing it, because you've got a fan in me. And even though to sound like a bit of even to sound like a Toy Story meme, there, you've got a friend in me.
Calm down, Woody.
Is there
Would you
what's
be
I
Woody or
say?
Buzz?
Oh, I'm more of a Buzz. Woody sounds a bit pedophilia like.
All right, I'll take the nonsense role then. Done. I'll be Woody. You can be Buzz.
Done. What's your last shirt that you got, and then we'll finish off with one more sort of ending.
Oh yeah, so most recent shirt I got was a. Hang on, let me just have a little think.
Or just the recent one that you remember.
It's a Denmark Euro '96 away kit. That's the last shirt I got through the door. Yeah, I was really happy with that. It's one of those ones I was like, I don't know what it's going to be like. It looks really good, and then I ummed and ahed about it for a while, and I didn't want to pay as much as I paid for it. And I thought, you know what? It's like I haven't seen one since, so I'm just going to take a punt on it. So I just did. And it cost me like £70. So I just went and got that. And I was really happy with it. It's got like, there's a certain period in kits where they have like a surface pattern design. And then you got this sort of sublimated or embossed pattern where you get the gloss and the matte and the fabric to create like a different.
The Umbro generation?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Umbro, definitely, 100%. 90 around about 95 to 95, 96 is like
That stuff?
That's it. Mate. Yeah, that's it.
That's my last one there too. So good timing.
Oh, mate, that's a beauty. That is an absolute beauty.
I
That
didn't want
whole
the
template
patter.
is
I hated the patter version. Have you?
bullshit. What is that about?
All right, in 10 words, I have to say 10 words. What are your thoughts on patter? Don't be scared because I probably agree with you.
Total fucking useless toss wank pile of overhyped dog shit. That's sort of 10.5. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It costs more than the fucking shirt costs.
Oh,
So
fucking
buy the
hell.
fucking shirt.
Thank you. Like, it's just like, I don't understand why you want to buy something. It's like buying a car with a total different badge. It's like someone's put a Porsche badge on a fucking Fiat.
probably performs about as well.
That's good call.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, if that's what you're after, and you're after the look of that shirt, go buy the fucking shirt, because the shirt will be like, the shirt will hold its value.
Yes.
No one's gonna go. Oh wow, that's that shirt from that time, and it's like oh, that's really. It will just be on like a pile of shit in like. Oh mate, they won't drop super low. They'll be like, because there'll always be like fashion heads like with them, but
Yeah.
no one's gonna be that bothered. Like, I don't want one. Like,
Yeah.
the other thing that fucks me off, mystery boxes. What's the fucking point in that? If maybe you've got 20 quid and you're thinking, oh, I might try something I don't know, like I'm always buying the same type of kit, so buy something. Let me just take a punt on this. Okay, fair enough. But fuck me, if someone said, give us 20 quid, I won't tell you what you're gonna get. I'm like, fuck, I'll rather buy what I like.
Yep.
But it's such that sort of thing that just really pisses me off.
That's what me and my friend did. He runs a magazine in Australia called False Nine, and I gave him £100. Yeah, do you follow him?
I've seen their account. Yeah, I've got the account.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I gave him £100, and he lives in London. Works for one of the credit card companies. He's a designer of their content. And I go, here, mate. Here's £100. We'll make an episode. You go down to Classic or whatever you've got. Go buy me a shirt. And he bought me the One Piece Cameroon outfit. And like for me, I see like why like the creators are doing mystery boxes. There's a lot of YouTubers you probably come across as well who do it. For me, I can't really do mystery boxes because I'm like, I can spend the money on my wife or my dog or my baby. And if I want to buy a football jersey, I'd rather have someone do like a nice, like for example, now I trust you as much to even transfer you PayPal and say, hey, I'm going to give you £100, go buy me something. And to me, that kit will be a lot more special because even if it's a joke, you thought about it, you used your time and energy for it. And to me, I'll respect that rather than paying a company or someone to just put a shirt in a box type of thing. You get me?
Yeah, for sure. I reckon if I did, I'd give you more than one thing as well, because I wouldn't be trying to get rid of my dead stock, which is literally the entire aim of it.
Even if you just went down the road and bought some shirts,
Yeah, mate, because honestly, I reckon I do give mystery box. I've had one guy, I did a personal shopping for a guy once. He messaged me and said, oh, my mate's bought a couple of shirts of you. He said, like, you really like your own fucking stuff. Because I only sell what I don't like. And he's like, oh, I've seen your page, really like the sort of stuff you do. Like the shirts are really cool. Could you like maybe, if I've got a budget of 200 quid, could you go buy me some shirts? And he said, so I went and bought this guy 3 kits. And I've got them for well below market price. So I've got him something that had sort of like a good fit, because luckily the guy was the same size as me, so I knew like what sort of stuff would fit him. And I've got stuff that could go with like multiple stuff. So like if you had like jeans or black trousers on it, go with both, or you had like shorts that go with like something like that.
Yeah.
So I've got a Betis 97-98 home kit. I got him a Bayern Munich 93-95 home kit, and I got him a Piacenza 2014 away kit, which had this sort of like random inbuilt printed collar, but it's really crisp and fitted amazing. So I got him those 3 kits. I almost got a Napoli kit, but those 3 were just, I mean, the Bayern Munich was about 80 to 100. The Betis, they go for like 120, 130, and
Insane
the Piacenza,
prices.
I think worked out about 50 quid. So I probably saved him about like 120 quid or something like that on the shirts. I think I ended up getting them all for like 180 quid. So I've done that for a geezer before. That was really fun. So, but it's almost like thinking about what would be good, and also like none of them would drop value because they're all going to be desirable shirts. Do you know what I mean? So
Yep.
Yeah, so I was quite good with that.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to explain the whole situation. Before I let you go, did you want to make an appearance with Mushkov and then say goodbye to the fans?
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Yeah, I'll have to put the phone down and obviously go fetch it.
Get him out of the shower. Go.
I will do. I'll give just 5 seconds, mate.
I'll put some elevator music.
Yeah. Just talking about 5 seconds, mate. No, mate, I just need you to come and speak to the guy on the camera. Oh, excellent. Why be having none of that, pal? Well, calm down then, Mushkov. Just a few words. Obviously going to the kitchen. If you could just go sit with the camera. Oh, shit, your does. I don't fancy that anytime soon, mate.
Zdravo.
Yeah. Well, zdravia.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Ladosh. How you doing, guys? Right?
Talk to me. Tell me. How was your day? What did you have for lunch?
Oh, yeah, Ladosh. Yeah, woodchuck shit. Stoichkov went down a pier of fish and chips, didn't he? Hey, Ladosh. Mushy peas.
Oh my god, sorry, my dog wants to make an appearance and say hello. Chandler, come here. Come say hello. Come say hello to Mushkov. Look, it's a dog. Is there anything you want to say hello? Chandler, say hello to Mushkov. Look who's that.
Have that in a curry, mate.
How many goals have you scored in your career?
42 last week.
Perfect, man. Well, you enjoy your afternoon and stay safe. Make sure you say bye to Dan for me. There's probably a lot of words for you, but is there anything you want to say to the fans to say the good send off?
My new Eurovision Song Contest. Get yourself down Fountain Park, a nice pint of pint with you.
Oh my god, this is perfect. To everyone watching, please say hello to Dan and his friend here, Mushkov. All his details will be in the comments below. And of course, mate, if there's anything else you want to shout out, don't be scared to send me a link. Otherwise, you can say something now. Do you want to say anything last minute?
Yeah, does. This is the winter. Check out, it's the fan 83 on Instagram, mate. 343, it's the fan every Wednesday.
To the audio listeners, please check the last 5 minutes of this episode. Thank you, guys. Stay away from stupid people, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Thanks, mate.